Coach Claire here, everybody. Good to see you. As you're viewing this, school's going to be starting in just a couple days. And so we're going to use this week basically as a recovery week. We're not going to give you a workout to do, but we are going to focus on just that whole process of recovery. Recovery is very important. As you know, the workouts that we do are focused on building muscle and reducing body fat. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's all you need to do. So we need to work on this idea of recovery. So how does that work actually? Physiologically, when you are working out, training with weights, running, doing the workouts, you physically are tearing down your muscle tissue. I know many of you have heard this before from us, but it's worth repeating. You're actually tearing the muscle tissue down, and that's a natural part of the workout process. That's what we want to see accomplished. But it's through the rest and the recovery, as we call it, that the muscle tissue then has the opportunity to build back thicker, to build back stronger, and then again, we work out again, and the process begins again. And that's how we get better. If we were just to work out all the time and not include recovery in our plan, we would basically be just tearing down muscle tissue and continually tearing down muscle tissue. The results are we don't get better, and number two, we really risk injuring ourselves. So what is this recovery? What do we need to conclude as part of our recovery? Well, number one, make sure you're getting enough rest when you are recovering. Sleep's really important. What sleep does for you is it provides growth hormone through the body. Growth hormone, again, builds that muscle tissue back. We like to say at least 7 hours of sleep is really important on a regular basis. So make sure that that's going to help you. Make sure you're getting your 7 hours at least. It's going to optimize that recovery process that we want you to do this week. Fuel is important, eating the right amount of food and proper foods. Now, I'm not going to get into this at this video in regards to all this nutritional aspect. Most of you understand what good fuel is, where you're talking about lean proteins, chickens and fish and lean meats, beans, legumes, those kinds of things for your protein, and complex carbohydrates. Really important as the tissue builds back. You need that fuel to do that. I want you to make sure you're replenishing your fluids. I know I've mentioned this to some of you before, but if you were to take all of the fluids out of your body, completely dehydrate your body, you'd be about a handful of dust. Over at least 60% of your body is actually fluid. 60%. And even a dip as much as 5% in dehydration really affects your performance and affects your ability to repair those muscle tissues. So make sure you're hydrating properly. Water is always the best. You know, at the end of each workout, we do those mindful breathing exercises. I want you to think about it. I know some of us ignore that time, but that's a perfect time to, again, start the recovery process. If you spend about a minute to 2 minutes in just nice, easy, deep breathing, you start to set the body up for saying it's recovery time. You start to put the clock on. In addition, you start to lower your heart rate, reducing blood pressure, and all of these things that help us to repair muscle tissue. Last thing I'll talk to is about active recovery. You might have heard that term before. If you're anything like me as an athlete, the idea of just sitting around doing nothing makes me a little nervous. It's hard to do that. And I'm not going to say that you should do that. At least once a week, I think you should at least stay away from activity. But an active recovery process is where you basically are doing something active, but something you enjoy, something that's outside your workout. Maybe it's taking a walk or a leisurely swim, or just doing some activity you really enjoy that's even outside your sport. So staying active is important, but it's not about raising the heart rate. It's not about pushing the muscles to try to strengthen them. It's you just being active. Last thing I'll talk to you about is stretching. Stretching is critical. We don't often do enough of it. One of the things I like about stretching is it increases your flexibility. Flexibility is really important in regards to tissue regrowth, but also the idea of contraction speed of the muscle. When a muscle is more flexible, it contracts more quickly and efficiently. That means you're going to be faster, you're going to be quicker. So stretching is really important, as well as it helps to reduce your injury. So take this week, get back into school, relax a little bit. We're not sure how the athletic season's going to look yet as of this taping. We're going to know more a little this week. You'll be able to know more about it, but you're going to be ready. We'll re-engage with activities after this first week of school. So as you go into your school year, I'm going to leave you with a couple thoughts. I want you to live your life as you enter your school system, number one, with grace. Live your life with grace, live it with courage, and most of all, live it with no regrets. If you do that, you're going to be a successful person, a successful athlete, and I really look forward to seeing all of you guys here at school. Take care.